Okay, the most honest review you're ever going to have of a 2024 TRD Pro Tacoma Hybrid. Now I want to get this out of the way right off the bat before I grab my phone and read my notes, because I'm incredibly unorganized and I fumble on my words a lot because I'm an excitable person. All right, this is not a hybrid. It is a hybrid. Now, when you think hybrid, everybody usually thinks of, you know, the Prius or the Prius or a Prius. And the Prius is a hybrid, in my opinion. It is an electric gas car. It goes gas mode, and then electric mode, and then gas mode, and then electric mode. Do you know what this does? It doesn't do that. It has a 50 or 56 horsepower electric engine inside of this thing that assists for more power. Also, when you're backing up, if you're going low speed, it goes into electric mode. If you're going real slow driving forward, it's electric mode. That is the hybrid. You're gonna notice a continuity error, but don't worry about it. The wind's blowing this way, and the last thing you need is a bunch of the whole goddamn time. Now, it is not indeed a hybrid, okay? It is, but it isn't. Now, the second thing that I want to drill home, of course it's windy the day I want to do this. Of course it is. I don't know what that's gonna sound like. If it sounds terrible, I'm leaving it in and I'll put subtitles in the bottom. Don't worry about it. If this is the kind of content that you want, stay around. Because I'm not like those other reviewers who are like, I'm prim and proper. I'm going to behave myself. No, you are getting the most unhidden shit in the world. Now, I took a 2024 TRD Pro and I turned it into an overlanding vehicle. As you can see, this thing has become an overlanding vehicle. I have put bigger tires on it. I think they're 34.5. Do I know exactly what size they are? I have no idea. They might even be 34s. I can tell you that they are 275, 70, 18. Do I know what that is in inches? No, not a clue. I have a mechanic for a reason. Secondly, I put a rack on the back. I have boards. Get unstuck boards is what I call them. Am I ever going to use them? My hope is no. But I have them just in case. On the other side, I have a 15-liter jerry can because the gas tanks in these things got smaller, and we'll talk about that afterwards. On the top, I have a rooftop tent by Go Overland Canada. Fucking love the thing. It's amazing. On the roof, we have storage boxes with actual shit in them. I used to think they were a gimmick. Literally. I thought people put shit on top of the roof just to look cool. And then I discovered how much crap you need while overlanding. There's the wind again. It's fine. It's okay. I'm not worried. The wind's not ruining my video. No. Anyways, I thought that people put crap on the roof for, you know, for fun. But no. And we're going to talk about why afterwards. Now, why did I buy the TRD Pro and not the Trail Hunter? Look at it. Look at this. This is a beautiful fucking truck. All the way around. If I remember, I'll put gimbal footage of me going around the bloody car, the truck. It's another car. If I remember, I'll put gimbal footage of me going around the vehicle, and I'll show you. This is a beautiful truck. This compared to the Trail Hunter, that's hot as hell. This is gorgeous, okay? This is a beautiful truck. It was a beautiful truck. And then I drove through some foresty, bushy shit that scraped all my paint off. And as you can see, I was showing people yesterday and I rubbed my hand all along it like that to show them how many scratches are on there. Now, most people, when they see this, will go, oh my God, oh no, the paint, you're ruining the paint. Bitch, my paint is fucked. I don't care anymore. It is fucked up. I've heard of Glamlanders? Fancy overlanders. They build their shit up to look like this, but then they never use it. Well, let me tell you, I have used and abused this son of a bitch. My fenders are fucked. I'd love to tell you that I washed this thing before we started the video, but that would be a lie. I tried to film this 2 days ago and the whole thing was gone to shit because I got stuck over there behind us, and well, I added more scratches to it. There's now a big one that goes all the way along here. And again, some of you are probably, stop rubbing it, you're making it worse. I promise you this is only gonna get worse. All right, so I bought this over the Trail Hunter because this is a much nicer truck. Secondly, I didn't want the snorkel. I had a snorkel in my 2021 TRD Sport. Did I ever need it? No. Now, we're gonna get to the points. I'm gonna go to my trusty little phone here and we're gonna look at what I wrote because I get distracted like crazy and I forget what I'm talking about. First thing we're gonna do, I'm going to tell you things about this truck that I love. We're going to get the things that I love with this truck out of the way right off the bat. because it's going to be a short section, okay? Now, first off, I love Toyota. I've had a Dodge, I've had a Ford, I've had a BMW, I've had a Nissan, I've had a Mitsubishi, I've had a Volkswagen, and I've had Honda motorcycles and a Triumph. Would I ever buy any other of those? Would I ever buy another one of those? No, not in a million years. As much as I will bitch about certain aspects about this truck today, this is the only vehicle I will ever buy again. I will never buy another brand, ever. Toyota, as much as they made a few mistakes with this truck, are the most reliable vehicle on the road. When it comes to all Japanese vehicles, I will take that over any American-built vehicle ever. Now, I'm sorry to any North Americans that you're going to be pissed with me. Be like, what do you mean you don't want all good North American work? No, I really don't. Anything that has been made in Japan or designed in Japan or originates from Japan, that's what I want. I want that time and care and precision put into my stuff. That being said, some of this stuff is not very precise and some of it is not very good. So we're going to start with the honorable mentions, okay? Now, the JBL speaker that comes in this truck is hilarious. Did I think it was stupid at first? Yes, I did. Do I think it's stupid now? Yes, I do. Ask me how many times I've used it. How many times have you used it? A lot. Every time I go camping, I take that thing out, I sit it in my cup holder, I get stoned, and I listen to podcasts. Not even joking. That speaker is amazing. I think it's silly, but the amount of times that I've used it has completely changed my mind, and I love it. It was a goofy gimmick, and I love it. It is the best gimmick in this truck, is a removable speaker from the dashboard. The only problem I have with it is that when that thing dies, I am extremely worried that Toyota's going to go, oh, you want another one? That'll be $1,000. That'll be $1,000, please. You know, like South Park, the Shaw, the cable guys. I'll put a clip in, possibly, right down on the bottom. Anyways, the JBL speaker is amazing, okay? Stop turning off on me. Next, the sound system. The sound system, I know it's kind of the JBL speaker, but the sound system in these trucks is incredible, all right? All of us, when we were teenagers, would buy vehicles and we'd go to, like, I don't remember the name of the places. Plus, I probably shouldn't name them anyways because I'm not sponsored by any of them and probably legal reasons. I don't know. We'd all go to those places. Fuck it. Walmart. We'd go to Walmart. We would buy sound systems and we'd tear our interiors out, breaking everything. We'd put new sound systems in because it wasn't good enough from factory and we would go about our way. This is the best fucking sound system I've ever heard in a car, in a truck. This is a truck. This isn't a car. What is wrong with me? This is why I re-record shit. I'm not taking this out. I had a BMW. This is better. Make that make sense. It doesn't make any sense. So the sound system in this is incredible. The interior design is incredible. The reason I used to buy Honda vehicles is because Honda had this way of making everything inside of them feel like you're in a cockpit. Like you're in a fucking cockpit. You were the center of attention in the vehicle. Everything was around you. Over the years, people have decided to make vehicles where the entire dashboard is so that everybody in the vehicle can see it. It is a shared experience among everybody. We're all going to witness how fast you're going so we can chastise you behind your back when you're in the bathroom after a road trip and say, do you even understand how fast he was going? He was going like 130. Yeah, I can't believe he was going 130 on the highway. I like the fact that it's viewable to me and everybody else can piss off. It is mine. I'll do with it as I please. All right, so the interior is amazing. Secondly, the back seats. I will not listen to, holy fuck, I'm dirty. I won't listen to any of you who bitch about these back seats. Let me catch my breath. This is why I have a list. If you have children, don't buy this. This is not a vehicle for families. Does this look like a vehicle for families? No, get off of me. This looks like a vehicle that somebody like myself would buy because I don't have kids. And when I do have kids, they'll fit in there until they're like fucking 2. And then after that, they go in my wife's Land Cruiser. Yeah, we bought a Land Cruiser. So if you ever say like, man, that guy sure talks a lot of shit about Toyotas, fuck that guy. Hey, fuck you. I bought a Toyota TRD Pro, I bought a Land Cruiser, and I got my sister to buy a fucking Toyota too. So suck my dick, all right? If any of you try and bitch at me that I'm making shit claims about this truck and they say, fuck that guy. I bought 3 of your vehicles. Okay, so back seats are cool. The passenger driver seat are cool. Okay, I love them. I really do. I don't know if they actually work. I don't. The only way I would find out is if I drove one of these with them and without them. Either way, I like them. I think they're cool. Do my dogs give a shit? Not even a little bit. The dogs don't care. They don't know what the fuck it is. They're just like, cool, backseat car ride, woohoo. So, interior is amazing. The design of this vehicle is amazing. The wide fender flares, everything about it. Whatever the shit this is, because it sure the fuck isn't a rock slider. It's not attached to the frame. Everything on this is awesome. Some people bitch about the rear window because from the outside it looks goofy. I agree with you. But from the inside, it looks normal size. It's really funny. So the interior of these is amazing. Under the hood also looks amazing. The use of black, red, and orange, it's awesome. I love it. I will show images of that. So now that we've got everything out of the way about how much I actually like this truck, we're going to talk about all the stuff about it that I don't like. So we're going to start with the interior. My list came up with this entire thing. I used ChatGPT to help me build this list. Okay, I can't make lists. I'm not good with lists. All right, so here we go. The interior. The first thing is the CarPlay. The CarPlay is awesome. I love it. I like wireless CarPlay, but there's a few issues with it. It disconnects. On my way to this forest, the middle of nowhere, I disconnected twice. Now, there has been things on forums that say it's because of the iPhone. There's also things that say it's because of the CarPlay system is trying to connect to hotspots and it throws you off. I will put links underneath to prove every one of these claims. If I cannot find one, my bad. I have found a couple already, but multiple people complain about the CarPlay disconnecting and that's it. And occasionally I have to shut the vehicle off in order to make it come back, which means on road trips, the few times that it's happened, I've actually had to pull over and manually connect it again. So the CarPlay, as awesome as it is, it does have some issues. If there's a setting inside of it that you have to deactivate to stop it from connecting to hotspots, tell me in the description. I will genuinely make a video saying, hey guys, there is a setting for that. Whoops. That's my first con with the CarPlay system. The door handle. The door handle on both the sides of this vehicle pull off. I will put footage of it. And it is also a known issue on all of the forums with these trucks, is that when you grab the handle and you pull, it's actually separating from the door. It's creating gaps. $86,000. Do I want that? No. That's not okay. That is not an okay thing. It should be a fucking recall. Have I got a recall notice on the doors? Nope. So, next is that passenger seat. It squeaks. Now, when I took it to the shop, they were having trouble finding the squeak. They couldn't figure it out. So one of the mechanics went through and he went through a bunch of forums. Again, the mechanic went through forums and found that the part that is squeaking is a metal clip that holds onto the metal hydraulic pole. Now, I worked construction for 3 years as a steel framer and a drywaller, so I'm no plumber. And trust me, if you know plumbing, you know what I'm talking about. All the hanging pipes, you're not supposed to put metal on metal. You have to use, shims between them. Because metal on metal is not a good idea. Metal on metal will scrape. And over time, it will degrade. And that a horribly expensive seat will be pointless. So that seat is known to squeak because of the metal on metal contact. So they just put a little bit of foam in between it, squeaking's gone. That shit drove me nuts for weeks. Next, the auxiliary switches. Toyota actually did some good work with these trucks where they said, hey, people are, turning all of our vehicles into overlanding things. And as you can tell, every other truck company is starting to make overland vehicles as well. That's awesome. That works great for us because it means that the market isn't locked to just Toyota. That being said, I will never buy one of those. I will always buy a Toyota. So they put auxiliary switches in it. They're like, hey, people keep putting light bars. That guy up there, they put light bars on, they put extra lights on. Let's give them an auxiliary switch panel so they can wire right into it. The auxiliary switches are awesome. You've got different amperages on them. I think it's like 15, 10, and 5 or something. I could be a little bit off on those ones, but it honestly doesn't matter. So my light bar is hooked up to it. But if you watch, is that light bar on? It's not. because the auxiliary switches only work when the vehicle is on. Now, why is that a problem? What if you're out camping and it's nighttime and it's dark and you're out by the campfire and your sight's way over there and you're like, guys, I need to make sure that I got lights on near my truck so that when we go to get into the tent, we don't slip, fall, and die, and you know, whatever. You can't. Unless the vehicle is on, those switches won't work, which means you have to wire directly to the fuse box. Now, Toyota also at the same time, this isn't told to me. I didn't find this out through the dealership. I had to find this out on my own. Inside the fuse box, Toyota has left a few empty fuses that you can tap into. So that is a possibility. You can wire straight in, and I did. And it left me with the ability to do things like this. Thank you, Stady Lights. You made it so I could have a disco party or a rave on the highways. I don't actually do that, don't worry. I do it when I'm off-road, never on the highways. That would be very irresponsible. I think I just got bit. Anyways, that is a problem. The auxiliary switches are great, but they should be able to be powered when the truck is turned off. Now, we're going to move to lane departure system. I am a big fan of... Get off of me, bugs! Okay, we're going to move to lane departure system. The lane departure system in this truck is cool, but I do have a few problems with it. You can turn it off, but I like having it on. I do. There's a few times where, you know, I'm driving. I've been doing a lot of long distance. I've been driving to Calgary. I've been driving to Vancouver. And there's a few times where I've actually enjoyed having it on. It's not because I'm falling asleep at the wheel. It's just nice to have where it's just like, oh, hey, turn left a little bit. And I'm like, okay. I have tested it a few times too, where, you know, you just drive and let go of the steering wheel and let it do its thing. It does freak out. It will not self-drive. It will stop the vehicle. It'll, you know, I don't think it'll actually pull over. I haven't gotten to that point because I'm too scared that it'll slam the brakes on me on the highway. But either way, the lane departure system does work, but there are a few problems that I have with it. One, let's say there's a city worker that's having a bad day one day, and he's painting the lines, and he's like, you know what, guys? Fuck this shit. I hate painting lines. Painting lines is dumb. I'm gonna fuck with everybody. And he does this with his lines. Now, any of you, I dare you, I fucking dare you to tell me you haven't seen fucked up painted lines. I dare you. We've all seen it. The departure system knows that they're there. I have almost been thrown off the road twice. The truck has almost pulled me off the road twice now because one painter had a bad day or whatever happened or somebody drove through it, doesn't matter, and it almost drove me into the ditch. I have been off-road with it where it has thought that reflective tape along the road from somebody putting a trail marker down, it thought that that was also another line, and it tried to drive me into a tree. So the lane departure system is great, but it does have a few issues. Now, if you're 4x4ing, sure, you should turn it off, which brings me to my next point. This truck has the most obscene beeping. This is amazing. Toyota, you guys did great with a 4x4 that has sensors in every goddamn corner that go off all the time. Just lost my beer.
Oh, fuck.
Holy shit. Everything in this beeps. If I get too close to a stump, it beeps. If I'm starting to drive off the road, it beeps. If I'm backing up, it beeps. Not actually, it doesn't have like a reverse beep. I'm saying if you're backing up and you're getting close to something, it'll beep and it'll slam the brakes on you. When you're 4x4ing, the last thing that you want is to be driving through the bush and the truck to slam its brakes because it thinks that you're about to drive into a log, which is really just a stick that is so tiny it won't do anything. But it thinks that that's going to happen. You can turn all of this off as well. My point is, I don't want to have to pull up to an off-road trail, go into the settings, and turn each individual thing off, and then start driving, and then turn the vehicle off for a brake to give the transmission a brake because it's overheating again, and then have to do that again. There needs to be a button. There should be a button on this that when you're off-road, specifically off-road, you press a button, it deactivates all the sensors. Because the amount of times that even yesterday I got stuck out in the forest and I had to back up in tight corners and the truck would not let me back up because it thought that a branch was a wall. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I wanted to punch my steering wheel. I was getting so frustrated because I was already frustrated that I was stuck in the forest because I took a stupid path. Again, that path part was on me. Next is we're going to talk about the seat storage. There is none. Okay, I'm not going to complain about the fact that there isn't any seat storage. The hybrids put the batteries underneath the seats, which means you lose all of your storage. Now, I already said in the beginning, if you have a family, this is not the truck for you. If you need storage, this is not the truck for you. If you're an overlander, you're going to have to buy boxes. The back seats have no room for any of your stuff. It fits the jack stand and my front license plate. That's it. There is no room back there. I am not going to complain about that. I made the decision to buy the truck. I'm not complaining about it. I've seen a lot of people who buy these and complain that Toyota fucked up by not putting storage in the back seats. You made the choice to buy a hybrid that put batteries in the back seat. That's your problem. You want more storage? Get shit for your box, get shit for your roof. Problem solved. I'm not complaining about it because I did this to myself. Next, window trim. We're on the exterior. This window trim right here on all of my vehicles has come off. I've had 2 Toyotas now and a Toyota 86. Yeah, I bought a lot of Toyotas. So again, if any of you try and tell me that I don't like Toyota and I just talk shit about it, blow me. I'm dead serious on that. I have bought so many of their goddamn vehicles. I love them. I will keep buying them. But nothing is fucking perfect. This window trim has fallen off on all of my vehicles. Right here, there's a gap. It falls off. Can you push it back in? No, it falls back down. Why does it fall off on an $82,000 vehicle, huh? Beats me. All right, now we're going to talk about the gas tanks. Now, I had to actually have ChatGPT round this up for me and search the deep web because I actually was mistaken on one of these details. So it fact-checked me. Thank you, ChatGPT. I hope you were correct. If not, put in the description that, hey, dumbass, you're wrong. Gen 1 had a 60-liter tank. Gen 2 and Gen 3 had 80-liter tanks. Now, I actually thought my last truck had a 65-liter tank. I was mistaken, unless ChatGPT is mistaken. Now, the only thing that I'm not mistaken on is the Gen 4 has a 65-liter tank. Here's my problem. Whether those numbers are correct or incorrect or not, we went down in size. I don't know why. That's why I have a safety tank on the side. Sorry, a safety jerry can on the side. Because I don't get many kilometers on this. Like 400 or 350 to 390 is, okay. But if you're going down trails and overlanding, you need that as a safety. And it actually turns out the last overlanding trip we did, we all needed our jerry cans. We all needed that extra 15 liters because we actually ran out part way on our way back into town. So the smaller tank doesn't make sense to me, but maybe there's an actual reason as to why they did it. I just don't understand why. The rear suspension. Now, I had a 2021 TRD Sport as well, and I had the same issue with the rear suspension. I don't know why they do it, especially when they say that they built these trucks. This one specifically for Baja, okay? This was not built for overlanding, it was built for Baja. But if you put anywhere from 200 to 300 pounds in the back of this box, sorry, I almost said 100, but that is incredibly incorrect. If you put anywhere from 200 to 300 pounds in this box, it will sag. That doesn't make sense to me. For me personally, I don't understand that. It is a truck. Regardless of the fact that they built it as a Baja truck, why? Why with 200 pounds should this sag? That doesn't make sense. Now, the cool part is, because this brings me back to it a little bit, when your back end sags, your front end comes up slightly. This truck actually has a dial on the inside that you can lower your headlights back down so you're not flashing people in the eyes. Just saying, that's another cool feature that it has that I forgot to mention. But the springs in this actually have to be replaced now. I have roughly about 210 pounds on the back because I have an aluminum rack and a super lightweight tent. It's all super light. And it sags by 1.5 inches. So I have to put new springs in the truck because of it. Trail Hunter doesn't have this problem. They have Old Man Emu suspension. So again, if anybody's like, well, you should have bought the Trail Hunter. I don't like it. I'll just change out the suspension. You know what I did on my 2021 TRD Sport? I swapped out the entire front assembly. Control arms, springs, suspension, all of it. I don't know the name of this. I have a mechanic. I'm not a mechanic. I swapped out everything for that exact reason. Okay, we're going to talk about the bumper for a second. Now, the bumper is an ARB bumper and is the exact same one that's on the Trail Hunter. Now, the cool part is it's metal. you're great. You back into some, you're covered. The downside is it's too low. I have had this parked next to a trail hunter. The wheel and the hitch on both of them are the exact same. So if you try and tell me like, well, you bought a Baja vehicle and not an Overland vehicle, they have the same problem. The rear end is too low. The hitch comes down at an angle. And again, you'll see it in the picture or video that I put up. You'll see that it is too low. I get that working with ARB was cool and they had to, you know, come up with a way to put the license plate in and have all the thing in there. That's awesome. I get it. But building vehicles for overlanding or Baja, you need that room at the back. If you look at a lot of people who have done up their Toyotas, they actually end up removing the bumpers entirely and having bumpers that come up at an angle because you need that clearance. So if you're going to build it for a specific purpose, make sure you do it right. And the license plate, just move it onto the tailgate. I'm actually going to do that myself. I have a friend who's a fabricator. We're going to cut out a portion of the tailgate, move the license plate up, and we're going to redo the whole bumper because it just doesn't make sense. I'm going to miss having an ARB bumper. I think it's cool, but I'd rather, you know, not drag my tail end in the dirt or get stuck in snow again. And it's happened to me a few times already. Okay, this is the last problem I have with the truck, and it is at the far end. The tailgate on these vehicles is entirely electronic. I can open it from the inside with a button. I can open it with my phone. I can open it with my keys, which this is my wallet. The keys are inside. Don't worry, the window is down. But the tailgate is entirely electronic. My tailgate actually broke once already. I do not remember the number, so this is not a quote. I'm going to even put air quotes in this shit. My tailgate had a failed open attempt of 200 plus. The number was so high that I went, fucking pardon? I didn't believe it. Not one bit, but it did. I had to take it in. It had to get fixed. To open it while it was broken, I had to press the button and reef on the top. There should be a manual override on these. What if the electronics go one day and you can't get in? There should be a manual override. And if there is one, I was never shown. So that's a problem that I have with it. I have a tonneau cover on here too, so it's not as simple as just reaching over and doing something. There's a tonneau cover on here that can't be moved up unless the box is open. Here's my final thoughts. Would I buy another Toyota? Even after this entire spiel, however the hell you say that word? Yes, I would. 1,000 times over. I would buy a Toyota every goddamn time. Because they make good vehicles. They do. It's a good looking vehicle. I thought that was another chip. It is a good looking vehicle. It looks awesome. I don't like cleaning it. I like keeping it dirty. It separates me from all the other Toyotas in town. A lot of the other Toyotas in town that are brand new don't do what I'm doing. I get why, but they don't do it. This is a great truck. I love this thing. I will drive this into the ground. Am I slightly worried about the electric engine? A little bit. But Toyota's been doing electric engines forever. This is nothing new. Regardless, if I had to go back to last year and make that decision again, I would buy this again. I wouldn't change my mind. This is the truck I will own until it dies. And I will buy another Toyota when it does die. So should you buy one? Not if you have kids. But if you're just a guy and a girl, or a guy and a guy, or a girl and a girl, or whatever, yeah, these are awesome. They're a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun on this thing. I have a lot of good memories in this truck already. I had a lot of good memories in my last truck, and I miss it. But this is my truck. This is TRD Gumbel, right here. It is a mess. It is completely fucked up. It's got some problems. It's got some issues. But it has some really, really great qualities about it. And I would 10 out of 10 do this again every time. I hope you enjoy the video. If you have any comments, put them below. If you want to fact check me on anything, put it below. If you want to put your own stuff down, put it below. I will respond to it. I'm still a new channel. And even on Twitch with 1,700 people that I have followers of, and I used to average about 30, I responded to every single one of them. You will get a response. Just tell me your thoughts. Peace out.